Hello everyone, my name is Al Ferrara. I'm the program manager with the peer support program as a part of the employee assistance program. First of all, I'd like to start off and say to everybody, congratulations on making the decision to retire and move on into a new chapter of your life. One of the things that we do when we come in to do these seminars and talk to you guys, we want to talk to you guys about the services that we offer to retirees. Nothing changes for you. Everybody thinks that when you retire, there's a warranty on how the services that EAP provides. There is no warranty. It's a lifetime warranty. As long as you guys are police officers in good standing and you retire in good standing, we're going to offer our services to you and to your family members. Anybody that resides in your household will be able to use those services. The biggest thing with retirees that comes into play is, number one, if you move away or you move out of state, obviously the services won't be in person, although you may be able to now, because of the nature of where we're at with COVID-19, you may be able to do telehealth. So telehealth is basically calling in and talking with a clinician and or a peer member or an alcohol counselor. And in those times, they can give you advice and direct you. But if you're within the state of Illinois or you're still within the city limits of Chicago, we still offer our services for retirees at the building, which is Adams and Wood, 1759 West Adams. So it's right on the corner of Adams and Wood, where it's always been. For the older retirees in here that remember St. Michael's House, it is the old St. Michael's House. And so all the services that we've provided to you in the past will continue to be provided. No charge. It doesn't affect your insurance. So nothing changes for you in terms of services provided by EAP. But some of the things that we also like to talk to the women and men and women when they retire is we like to talk to them about the transition from policing to civilian life. That is a major transition in one's life, and you're going to go through some transitional periods. Just like you transitioned from being a civilian and you went into being a police officer, your family, you had to make some transitional adjustments. The same is true in this case. You are now going from the policing life into civilian life. Some things that are going to affect you. You will no longer have the powers of a police officer. You will be a retired police officer. With that comes some acknowledgement and respect, but powers of the policing, like we used to know them, won't exist for you anymore. Some of the more important things that I always talk about are the family dynamics. You have to remember, over the last 20 plus years, you were a police officer and your schedule changed multiple times, or you weren't there for a lot of things. The family has gotten used to existing without you being there a lot of the times. Now with this transition, now all of a sudden you're going to be there. And believe me, it makes a difference. A lot of times our retirees come in and the family is making an adjustment as much as the retiree. A wife or a significant other who's been taking care of doing all the things in the household now has you at home, and all of a sudden you want to be a part of that process, and she looks at you and is like, hey, I've been doing it this way for 20 years. And you want to insert, well, hey, let's do it this way. So it could lead to some conflict. So there is a transitional period where you're going to have to find out where you fit in your family dynamic, and how that family dynamic, they will have to adjust to you fitting in with them also. Because they sometimes are, especially if you still got kids and kids that are, in the teenage, maybe early 20s, all of a sudden you're there and you're more active with them than they were used to. So we like to mention that there's going to be a transition. If you need help with their transition, we can help you out with that. But we want to make you aware of it because it's going to be normal. The transition part is normal, and being able to kind of work your way through that. The best thing we can tell you guys to do is have a conversation. Have a conversation with your family, let them know what your plan is, and kind of let them kind of work with you to come up with how this is going to look, because it's a new facet of your life. The other part, which I just mentioned, is the plan. For 20 plus years, you've had a plan. Whether it be you got on this job to help people to make a difference, which most of us at our age have done. We got on this job to make a difference. And that's the part that gets us the most. All of a sudden, we're out there, we're trying to make a difference, we're trying to make society better, we're trying to help kids, we're trying to help elderly, we're trying to help a community, and all of a sudden now that's kind of gone away. For 20 plus years, you had a plan. You knew what time you were going to work, what time you possibly were coming home, and what your mission was. Well, now that you're going to be retired, you need a new plan. What is your new plan? We really want to encourage you men and women to develop a plan before you retire. Whatever that plan is, it could be volunteering, it could be traveling, it could be any number of different, get a second career. Maybe you want to pick up a little something. Some officers have retired and went into teaching, and they're working with a college, or they go into security work and they develop their own security firm. But whatever the case is, you have to have some kind of plan. I get most concerned about the officers that I come up and talk to them, hey, you're retiring, congratulations. What's your plan? Well, I think I'm going to go fishing. I'm like, all right, that'll be good for a couple of months. What are you going to do in the winter? Unless you're going to be ice fishing, probably not going to do a whole lot. So fishing is not a plan. Fishing is an enjoyment. Fishing is something that you want to do, unless you're going to want to fish every single day. Understand, you have to have some kind of thought process of what you're going to be doing. Just recently, I spoke with a retiree. He was a lieutenant, worked over 30 years, and he was looking forward to retirement, especially in this environment and everything. He was like, I can't wait to get out. And I said, what are you going to do? I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit around and enjoy retirement. A couple months after his retirement, I run into him having a conversation. Hey, how's retirement working out? He looked at me and he just said, it's not what I thought it was going to be. I go, what's going on? And he told me, he said, I fixed everything in the house that I wanted to fix. I got all the things done. He goes, I don't have anything to do anymore. He goes, I actually try to go outside, and especially now with COVID, try to go outside and engage with people, and that got limited. And he was struggling with the fact that he didn't have an idea of why was he getting up in the morning. He had a family, his kids have kind of left and gone, and the wife was still kind of working, so it was him. And he never really thought about it. And he literally told me, he was like, hey, I've been thinking about going to Walmart and being a greeter just to have something to do. So we sat down and had a talk a little bit, and we talked about, all right, come up with the new plan, whatever it is. What do you have to offer? Where can you go to do something? And, he talked about possibly going to the church and maybe getting involved in coaching and doing some coaching now that he had extra time. There were things that he liked to do. So just having some kind of idea of what you're going to do afterwards, whether it be the coaching or something, you have to have a plan for your retirement. And the plan should be something for 20 plus years. You did 20 years of service to the department, to the city, you owe yourself another 20 plus years. And I always like to tell retirees this, we all complain and talk about how the city screws us, for lack of a better term, and how we spent our 20 years getting screwed. Well, here's your opportunity to screw to the city. Live past 20 years. Take advantage of that pension. You put all this money into that pension, make sure you get every ounce of it out. So the idea is for you to live past those, the next 20 years. Because the sad part about this, and we talk about the suicide rate of the active law enforcement officers. The reality is the suicide rate of retirees is 10 times higher than that of the active officer. And the way you beat that suicide rate is you have a plan. You go out there and be active and get engaged and do things. As time goes on, the other side of that is we suffer from a multitude of ailments because of the stressors of the job. How do you beat that? Staying engaged, having a purpose, waking up in the morning knowing what you're going to do. And right down to simple things like maybe getting together with a bunch of guys that you have already retired and having your morning breakfast once a week or once a month. Those are all things that you can do. And then begin to socialize with other people and, engage with the family more, get involved with the family. All of those things are things that we can work on and that you can work on to help your retirement be more successful. So the idea about all of this is, number one, EAP will be there for you if you need us. Peer support, you can call us anytime. You guys have the numbers in your FOP book. They will be handing you or giving you some pamphlets, some information. You will have those things. The EAP number pamphlet will be in there. And really enjoy your retirement. And our job is to make sure you get 30 plus years of retirement. So go out there, enjoy your retirement. Thank you.